Hi everybody, my name is Robert Sean Kennedy. I'm going to be your U.S. History instructor for the semester. This orientation, the videos, including this one that you'll be viewing, are referring to all of my U.S. History courses that are online. So whether you're in my 1301, 1302 mini-mester course, or you're in my 1301, 1302 traditional online course, all these videos are referring to the same layout. So keep that in mind. So to that end, have your syllabus handy while you're reviewing this video, because I might be referring to assignments that are specifically designed for a 1302 course and you're in the 1301 course. They're all the same assignments, but the content associated with them obviously will be different. So if you see a little bit in the dates, I might be talking about summer school in some of the videos. So make sure you have your syllabus, which has all of the due dates clearly marked. The syllabus is located in Blackboard, so if you don't have that yet, print that out and have that out there so you have it in reference. Make sure you have the study guide for the orientation, so as you're watching the videos you can just respond to the questions as you're getting the information from me during the orientation. Other than that, in this video I'm going to be talking about the syllabus, just the basic guidelines for the syllabus and how to generally navigate through the expectations of the course. Okay, video is just go over the syllabus information. Again, I'm going to have, what do I have up right now? I have the 1301 syllabus, but it's the same thing is set up for 1302. So whether you're in my 1301 or 1302 course, the thing you want to do right now is to print out your syllabus so you have it for reference to look over it. So if you're ready to do that, let's go over some of the expectations of this course so you'll be ready to succeed this semester right from the get-go. First thing you want to I want to make sure everybody knows is the best way to initiate contact with me is through email. I'm happy to talk with anyone on the phone, but many questions, 90% of the questions I receive from students can be addressed quite quickly over email. It's usually just a one-sentence response, you know, where do I find this, or when is this due, that kind of a thing, right? So the best way to get a hold of me is through my email address at robertkennedyhistoryteacher@gmail.com. The other reason why I prefer initiating contact is that I get it straight to my cell phone. As opposed to if you try to call me, the problem there is I'm not usually in my office. Right? I'm in my office about 6 to 9 hours a week during the day, and usually students are contacting me in the evening, and so I don't want to have to go a couple of days with you having some sort of issue or a question without getting back to you. And that's another thing I want you to really keep in mind. I usually get back to students within a couple of hours. Sometimes it takes me a day, sometimes. If it takes me more than a day, if it takes me more than 24 hours to get back to you, don't hesitate to email me back. Don't hesitate to email me back. Your email could have gotten lost in the shuffle. I just had a whole bunch of emails and I just didn't get to yours. Your email didn't get to me. Or I had every intention of getting back to you, but I just didn't, right? Those kinds of things. So don't hesitate to get to email me back. I won't find it rude or pushy or anything like that. It's your course, it's your education, so if I'm not getting back to you within a day, email me back and I will get back to you. So usually make it a habit to get back to you within a couple of hours, if not sooner. Some of the things in the syllabus that I just want to highlight, whether you are in my 1 or 2 course, 1301, 1302 course, it's basically set up the same way. There will be 5 online exams. Each one will be 10% of your grade for a total of 50% of your grade. And then there are 5 taking side essays. And there's 5 of those, so that's another 50% of your grade. Keep that in mind, how that's calibrated. So if you happen not to do so well on an exam, especially your first exam, that's usually the case. Students aren't quite sure what to expect. If you don't do quite well, keep in mind what it's worth. 10% is not something you just want to blow off, but if you end up earning like a 50% on the first exam, which you won't, but it could happen, it's not the end of the semester for you, right? So even if you get an F on one of the exams, there's plenty of opportunity to build your score and back up so you can earn a grade you'll be proud of for the end of the semester. This is the grade breakdown here, kind of standard, so take a look at that. You can read through some of this on your own. It's important information, but I don't want to take your time too much on this. Email etiquette, very important. The purpose of email is to communicate, so try to communicate in a very clear way. This is basically all this is saying. You want to make sure you spell correctly so there's no ambiguity about what you're trying to convey. So just use spell check or just look at the red squiggly lines and right-click it and see which is the correct spelling. Use paragraphs. So if you're writing, especially in an email, with the advent of emails on phones, if you have more than 2 sentences that you're trying to communicate with me, break that up and space it out so I don't miss what it is you're trying to ask me or expressing a concern. So break up your thoughts with some space in between. Don't just give me a huge block email of 5, 6, 10, 20 sentences. It really helps to kind of block it out a little bit. So be sure your questions are detailed, not vague, so try to use the specific words. So for instance, the exam that we have to do, if you have a concern about an exam, talk about which exam that you're, or is it exam 1 that you're talking about, exam 2, exam 3. The content, be very specific if you have a content question, so I can know exactly what it is you're getting at, right? Where it's an email, so we're not talking to each other specifically, and I can't follow up immediately, like, well, what do you mean by that? That kind of a thing. So try to be very specific in your emails. Read through the rest of this and just kind of, let me take that out, it's for an earlier sentence there. Read through that and just try to keep in mind that I'm trying to communicate to my instructor through email, so I need to be as clear as possible, and I'll do the same for you guys. Cheating of any kind will not be tolerated. No plagiarism, please, please, please. It is a terrible situation when plagiarism occurs, so please, please do not plagiarize to the best of your ability. If you have any questions, if you think it's going to be plagiarized, don't hesitate to get a hold of me, because the consequence for plagiarism is you get an F for the semester. So please don't plagiarize. It's very important to do your own work, and it's really easy to detect if a student has submitted plagiarized work. The rest of what we're looking at here, whether you're in a mini-mester of mine or a traditional class, you want to make sure I would print this part of the email out and put this somewhere where you're going to see it often. Right? So a lot of students get tripped up in internet courses because they don't know when things are due, because they didn't really look at it too well when things are due. So this is here for your quick reference. So just have this somewhere handy where you can take a look at it on a consistent basis so you don't miss any assignments throughout the semester. I don't want to see anybody kind of lose their potential to do the best they can just because they forgot about a due date and whatnot. If you happen to forget to do an exam, sometimes that happens, or you didn't do as well as you intended, there are no makeups for the exams. Like, you can't do it over. However, you can somehow make up the point. So where do I have that? I have that listed right here. This right here conveys the late policy, these red letters here. basically how it works, let's say for exam 1, you didn't do it, right? Or you got a 50% on exam 1. Exam 2, you did do it, you studied, you prepared, you asked me questions, and just to see what you needed to do better on the next exam, and you were prepared, all of that, right? You're ready to go. And you end up earning a 95 on exam 2. What will happen to exam 1 if you got a 0 on it, or you got a 50%, whatever you got on it before, exam 1 will be brought up to your exam 2 score minus 10%. So if you earned a 95 on exam 2, exam 1 becomes an 85, right? So just keep that in mind if you happen to miss an exam or you didn't do as well as you'd like to. For the taking sides essays, every day that the paper is late, it's deducted 5%, right? So keep that in mind. Sometimes you're just really busy and you just can't do it the day that it's due, right? Can't submit it the day that it's due, and there's some more things you have to do to work on it. Sometimes it pays just to turn it in a day late. I wouldn't recommend making a habit of it, but every once in a while it might pay, because you might be able to use that extra day to really write a well-written, organized, thoughtful paper with one more day. And losing 5% will end up being actually better for you than if you just slap something together the day it was due to submit it, right? So just keep that in mind, that late policy. The other thing you want to do is, by whatever the due date is for your class, so for the U.S. History 1 course that is in my traditional semester, not mini-mester, it is due September 1st. Make sure you know when your mandatory online orientation exam is due. It doesn't count against you. It's extra credit, but it is mandatory. If you don't do it, I will drop you from the course, right? This will be an indication that you're a no-show and you're don't know what the expectations are for the course. So you have almost a week to get this complete. Go through the rest of the videos, and the rest of the videos go further detail about what the exams entail and what the taking sides essays entail. So go through those, and the orientation exam will be found on Blackboard, of course. Other than that, let's see. I've gone over the time I wanted to go over. I wanted to keep this under 10 minutes, but I think that's about it. I will let you go through this on your own as far as the makeup of each exam. So exam 1 gives you the makeup there, it talks about, you'll notice that it asks you to do identifications, so read this part very carefully about the identifications and what's entailed there. Other than that, I think that's it. Please don't hesitate to get a hold of me. Email me if you have any questions, if you have any concerns. I will get back to you promptly. I promise you that. If I don't, email me again within the day. All right. Go forth and be great, and good luck on your orientation exam. You can take it as many times as you need to. There's no limit on the amount of times, but you do need to get 100% on it. So keep that in mind too. Have to earn 100% on it, and you will. Just have the syllabus out with you. Take notes while you're watching this. Have the study guide. There's a study guide for the orientation exam. Have that out with you while you're viewing these videos, and you'll do fine. Talk to you guys later. Bye.